Now I can see you better. All right. We're going to need the same things that we always use in yoga, and just always have those. And because when I come on Facebook, we're going to jump right into class when I come on Facebook. So it's always going to be 2 blocks, a strap, a pillow and or a blanket, and a chair. So whatever you use out of all that, that's what we're going to use. And so that way we can jump right into starting our class and be ready to go. Because I have 10:30 right now on this absolutely gorgeous Wednesday. So it's hump day. Angie from Gilda's Club, we were just talking, and it's a hump day. You know, sometimes the weeks fly by and sometimes they don't. And I tell you, the older I get, the weeks fly by much quicker. So we're going to go ahead this morning and get started. So I welcome you all here, whether you're on Zoom or whether you're on Facebook Live this morning. I think today's class is sponsored by a partnership between Gilda's Club and Deaconess Cancer Services. So I thank them for sponsoring this tremendous class to be able to teach you yoga, gentle yoga. Whether we are cancer survivors, we are in cancer treatment, we are family member, any of those are always welcome to join through Gilda's Club. But it's the amazing things that yoga does for your body. And the more I continue, I've been a yoga instructor for 5 years, right after I retired. But there's always, the day I quit learning is the day I guess they need to put me away, because I always want to learn something. And this week, I know Nancy was on my class yesterday, a lot about fascia. And I want to real quickly before we get started, let's start by sitting cross-legged and then I'll explain it to you. Sit cross-legged. We're going to start this morning sitting cross-legged on your mat. So if that's comfortable for you, great. If it isn't, put a block underneath each knee, or a blanket underneath the knee if that's uncomfortable. Bring your legs out a little farther. But when you keep your legs crossed and keep them close to your hips, we're already starting to open up hip flexors, start to open up the inner thighs. What I wanted to do is to talk to you just a few minutes about fascia. But we're going to do that while we're doing some of our meditations. So it's a learning meditation today. So I want you to sit cross-legged if you can. Shoulders are up, down, and back, sitting up tall and straight. Bring your hands right above your knees and let them rest there. Drop your shoulders. Close your eyes. This next hour is for you, for your body, and the tremendous things that yoga does for you. I want you to concentrate on your breathing while you concentrate also on what I'm telling you, just instructing you. I want you to be, knowledgeable about your bodies. Fascia, F-A-S-C-I-A, fascia. That is a fiber-like material that is over your entire body. Where there is skin, underneath there is muscle, and in between that skin and muscle is something that's called fascia. It is a connective tissue, fibrous tissue, that is in there, and it can get tight and sticky if we don't use that and stretch that fascia. It surrounds all the bones and muscles in our body. So if we keep that fascia open, keep that fascia movable, we're a lot more mobile, we're a lot easier to use parts of our body that maybe as we continue to age don't want to move as well as they did. Now, fascia is not the fountain of youth, but what keeping the fascia open does is it allows us to be able to go outside and to walk without falling. It enables you in your arms to reach up high and to get something rather than being constricted constantly. So we work a lot of our poses, work on opening up and relaxing the fascia. So this week I've really been doing poses that help with releasing the fascia. You don't feel the fascia, you don't know the fascia is there But you will know if it ever gets sticky where you can't start opening up your chest, or you have trouble maybe with mobility. Now there's other issues can cause that, but fascia is very underrated in where its importance in our body is. I'll explain that as we come into our yoga poses this morning. Let's do a couple of breaths together. Take your hands, bring your hands to your diaphragm. Eyes are still closed. Inhale as you push that diaphragm out to the front. Your belly will expand also. Exhale, pull that diaphragm back and you'll feel your belly contract. In and out through your nose. Inhale, push that diaphragm out. Let go of any stressors you have going on today. Exhale, pull it back. This hour is not to worry about what you didn't get done or what you have to do. Exercise for your body. Inhale one more time. Exhale, gently pull that diaphragm back. And let's gently open our eyes and come back into the room and let's get our yoga poses started. We already started working on that fascia in your hips and in your inner thighs. We already started in this one pose we've already done. Now your legs may be getting tired of sitting this way. So let's bring our legs straight out in front of us. Legs straight out in front. Kind of weeble wobble. You remember the weebles? Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. If you're in my age group, you know that. If you're young, you never heard of a weeble. But we've got our legs straight out in front of us. Flex your toes. Already firing up that hamstring in the back of our legs. We're sitting shoulders up and down, sitting up tall and straight. If I had a string pulling on the crown of your head, it would be pulling it up to the ceiling, separating those vertebrae in our back for opening. We're going to sit in this staff pose for a couple of breaths. Start working hamstrings. Start working the spine, our chest. We're already stretching. By bringing those shoulders up and down, we've already started the fascia in the upper chest. That's a lot of times where it really starts affecting us the most. We can't hardly open our shoulders. We can't hardly come into poses maybe you could. It's the fascia that's getting tight. So we're going to take a couple of breaths while we're sitting in this staff pose. Your body doesn't want to sit like this. It wants to move. So let's inhale again. Inhale up into mountain pose, arms, keeping everything else stationary. Shoulders are down, arms are up. Spread the fingers wide. Make those fingers work too. Inhale. Exhale, sweep your arms back down to the thighs. Inhale, arms back up again, sweep them wide. Exhale, sweep them back down like you're swimming. We're going to inhale one more time. Inhale up, mountain pose. Exhale, turn the palms out as you swing those arms back down, starting in the fascia in our neck. Now let's release the legs and let's shake those legs just a little bit. Shake them off a little bit. If your block is handy, lean over and grab your block. Put your block on the tallest side in between your legs. Bring your legs out just a little bit wider than your hips. Don't have to go buck wild right now. We're still early in practice. So we're going to sit up tall and straight here. Toes are still flexed. Legs are separated. We're going to inhale as we lift both knees up pretty high. First pose we're taking here, I don't want it to cause low back pain. So bring those knees up high. As we exhale, we're going to lean just a little bit forward. If you can bring your forearms to the block, back should be straight, chest up, head up. Now, if you want to, gently start straightening your legs and only go as far as you feel a little bit of a stretch on low back. Not crazy. Let me go all the way, which used to be my motto when I was young. A little pain's never going to hurt anybody. Yes, it will. So don't go there since we're so early in class. Take it gentle. feeling a little bit of a low stretch in that low back. We have fascia that lines that entire area, all over our entire body. We're just hanging out here. Had a little coffee, drink a little coffee, getting that stretch going in our low back. Now let's inhale here and gently, let's come back up. Take your block to the side. Bring the soles of your feet together for cobbler's pose. Soles together, knees start falling out to the side. Now notice when you're sitting in this position, notice your knees. How high are they? That's how tight your hips are. If your knees are way up here, that's okay. It just shows the hips are tight. Hip flexors, which rest in the groin area, they're just tight. That's okay. We're going to work on opening those up and the fascia that surrounds them. So take an inventory where your knees are. And we're going to come into this position lying down, which is a little bit different, but it still gives you the same premise. Now, if you want to add on just a little, interlace your fingers under your knife blade of your feet. Keep the knees falling out. Chest up, head up, straight back. Pull those feet up a little bit with your hands, intensifies that pose. Remember, we're early in class. You want to add on a little bit more? Keep your chest and head up, but lean just a little bit forward, and it fires up those hip flexors, stretching that fascia. Easy pose, it is a strong pose. You go where your body wants you to go today, except back to bed. Now let's inhale here. Exhale, release that. Bring your knees together. Pull those heels back towards your hips. Take forearms around shins. Pull those knees into your chest as you fold forward, tucking your chin. Shoulders roll forward. This is like doing a forward fold when we stand. The difference is not all the blood rushes to our head, which after cancer treatments or cancer can really sometimes affect that blood rushing to our head. So you should be feeling a low back stretch, not pain, because your chest is resting on your thighs. Beautiful. Let's inhale. Let's gently come back up. I want to come back into the cross-legged. Not the way you crossed them to start. Shake it up. Cross those legs the opposite way. And your body's going, no. This isn't how we do it. Yes, we do, because we get so accustomed to doing it the same way. We're going to inhale. Bring your arms up into mountain pose arms. Exhale, right hand down to the floor. Lift up left arm, lean to the right. Still we're working hip flexors, but now we're working left side body stretch. Stretch from the fingertips all the way down to that left hip, keeping that on the floor. Right arm is bent. Now you can leave this arm, left arm where it is. You can bring it behind the base of your skull. Point that left elbow up to the ceiling. You might feel a deeper stretch. You want to go where the deeper stretch is, but not where any pain is. So we're cleaning lymphatic system under our arms, but we're working that fascia all the way down your side body. Let's inhale, back up to mountain pose, arms. Exhale, left hand down, reach the right arm up, reach first. Then lean to the left, keeping right hip on the floor. And this left hand can be out, it can be close to your body. Wherever you get the deeper right side body stretch, right shoulder back, don't let it fall forward, we want it back. Now if you want to bring your hand behind the base of your skull and right elbow comes up to the ceiling, I feel a deeper stretch in this one than when my arm is overhead. Oh, this is such a juicy pose. I hope today you get outside and get to some of this beautiful vitamin D out there today. Let's inhale back up to mountain pose, arms. Exhale, left hand above right knee. Right hand behind your back or pushing into your yoga mat. Twist to the left. Mild twist, doesn't have to be crazy. Keep that head up like I got that string pulling your scalp up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. We're doing the 5 flexions. We're doing the 4th flexion of your spine right now. When we turn the other way, it will be the 5th one, opening spine. Inhale back to center. Exhale, right hand above left knee, left hand behind, and twist to the left. This should feel so good. You push that left hand into the floor, and you get to lift your chest up a little higher. Beautiful. And we haven't even gotten off the floor yet. Done a lot of great poses doing them seated. Inhale, let's come back to center. We're going to bring our legs out. We're going to come up onto our tabletop position. You all have been with me. You know the alignment points. Wrist under shoulders, knees under hips. Curl your toes under. Sway your hips side to side. Working the hip joints, working the fascia surrounding. I don't know if you all knew Terry Ritter. He was a myofacial expert. That's what his job was. If you had issues, you go see Terry and he helped release that fascia. Same thing we're doing with yoga. Let's come back to center. Now, he went a little more intense than we're probably doing today. If you ever went to him, he's a wonderful guy. All right, we're coming into tabletop. Inhale into your cow pose. Drop that belly. Pull shoulder blades together as you just look out towards the top of your mat, keeping cervical spine intact. Exhale, arch your back, roll the shoulders forward, tuck your chin into cat. Wow, how fantastic does that feel? Inhale into cow. Exhale into cat. Now do several of these at your own pace. You can keep your eyes closed if you want more meditation, or eyes open. If there's a pose you like better, stay in that one for a breath or two. This is massaging your spine from the crown of your head to the tip of your tailbone. So if you like massages, see, I'm saving you some money today. Take your time. After you finish the last round you're on right now, come back into neutral position. Sway the hips side to side. Now we're going to bring your hands, stay where you are. As we inhale, bring your right leg back up on the right toes. Chest is up, head is up. Push that right heel back towards the back of your mat. Ooh, feel those hamstring on that right leg fire up. Stretching that hamstring. If you're going to go out and take that beautiful walk outside today, you need some open hamstrings. Now, if you're going to go jog a little bit, you're going to need them too. Now, if you want, you can take that right leg, cross it over the left, look back at your right toes. See if you need to get a pedicure, how they look today. Keeping that right leg straight. Now we're getting a little bit of IT band from your hip down to your knee on the outside of your leg. Inhale, bring that right foot back. Exhale, bring it to meet the left knee. And windshield wiper your leg or your hips. Just move your hips from left to right. Beautiful. Come back to center. Inhale, left foot back up on the left toes. Chest up, head up. Push that heel, left heel back as far as you can. Ooh-wee. That one will stretch. You know which side of your hamstrings are tighter, right or left. They're never together. There's one of them that's always tighter than the other. It's like two kids. You're never the same. Now, if you like, bring that left foot behind your right. Gaze back at your left toes. Keep that left leg straight. Starting to feel that IT band. Stretch. Won't be long, we'll be doing yoga for gardening. I can't believe it. I walked yesterday and I saw some bulbs coming up. I don't know whether they were probably the daffodils, I presume. Inhale, come back to center. Bring that left knee back down. And we're going to gently sit back, heels, hips back to heels, if that's in your practice. If you won't, it doesn't go there, put a blanket under your hips, put a block under your hips, starting to work on those quads and those knees. The knees, we talk about the muscles of the knees, and that can sometimes affect your walking. There's fascia in there also, so if that fascia is also tight, so we're working on stretching that fascia as well, a gentle pose. While we're here though, if you know me, I like to add on. If we're going to sit in a spot, let's get more than just one thing done at a time. We're going to, shoulders up, down, and back. Inhale here. Left hand to the right thigh. Right hand again to the back of your spine. Gently twist to the right. Now, if you want, you can bring that right arm back. Shoulder comes back if it's not too intense. If that is too intense, leave it down on your low back. Now we're stretching more of that arm fascia and cleansing under that right armpit, lymphatic. Inhale, let's come back to center. Exhale, left hand, right hand, left thigh, left hand behind your back, twist to the left. So we're opening up multiple things. I miss the Kmart blue light specials, so I like to put, blue light specials to me is putting more poses than one together. And if you want, bring that left arm. One arm is going to go back farther than the other one if you're doing this. If you're not, that's fine. You're going to feel the tightness of the fascia depending on where that other arm goes. Now it can be fascia, it can be from breast surgery, it can be from multiple things, but it could be from your fascia. Inhale, let's come back to center, and we're going to roll down, chest rest on thighs, head on your mat, arms down by your sides, palms face up. Embryo pose. You look like a little embryo. Stretching that low back. Very, very, very gently stretching low back. This is one, if you get overexerted, you're too busy working in the garden and your back starts hurting, come in and do embryo position. It is great for stretching so gently that low back. Let the shoulders drop. All right, let's come back up out of that pose. Grab your two blocks. Want to really work on that fascia in the lower extremities. Put your blocks outer edges of your mat, tallest side. I know yesterday, I'm going to stop a second, Nancy was talking about some yoga bags that she found at Home Goods. Made me think that if you don't have yoga blocks, a great place that you can look for yoga blocks is like Five Below. A lot of times they will have them. TJ Maxx, all those. Made me think of that. If you don't have actual blocks, you can use the paper towels, you can use different things, but we use yoga blocks for so many things. So there's my little public service announcement. All right, bring your hands in between the two blocks. Hips under, knees under hips. Inhale here. Exhale, right leg comes back up on the right toes, just like we did before. Exhale, bring your hands to the two blocks as you bring the right leg in between the two blocks. Now your arms and hands are up. Your hands are on the blocks. Your knee, right knee is over right ankle. Chest is up, head is up. Now we are going to start moving that left leg, move the knee and the leg back, feeling that tremendous stretch in your left hip flexor. Woo-wee. Now you may want to move your blocks back closer to your hips. Pushing down into those blocks, lifting your chest up, is bone development also in your arms. Feeling that stretch, dropping that left hip down. Fascia, tremendous area for fascia. One of the highly recommended poses for releasing that fascia and that hip flexor. Now, if you would like to feel a little bit deeper stretch, take your left arm up overhead and feel how that stretch intensifies. And that may be too much. If it is, bring that hand back down to the blocks. You're still getting a tremendous stretch. Wherever your left arm is. Look straight ahead, keeping a straight cervical spine. Great, great, great stretch. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your hand back to the block as you bring that left hip back towards your left heel, raising the right toes up to the ceiling. Right leg is straight. Half monkey. Now feel that fire up of the hamstring on the right leg. Flex the right toes back. Woo! So we go from deep stretch on the right to a different deep stretch, on the left to a different deep stretch on the right. Fascia. Inhale, come back up again. Start moving the left knee back up under the left hip. Readjust right knee over right ankle. Chest up, head up. Inhale here. Exhale, bring both hands on top of each other on your above your right knee. A little bit of a balance check. Now, if that is too much, you can always keep your hands on your blocks, come up to the fingertips. We want that chest up. If not, bring both hands on, stack them on top of each other, shoulders up, down, and back. And we've added a little bit of a balance. You may notice a little wobbly. We're going to do another spinal twist here. Two options. One, take your block, put your hands on the blocks, and twist to the right. Second option, take both hands on your thigh, one right above your left hand, right above your right knee, right hand to your low back, and twist to the right. Either variation, totally acceptable. Again, you can bring that right arm out and it'll really challenge your balance. If you've got the two blocks going and you're resting on the blocks, same thing. Feeling that stretch, working that spine. I don't know how many of you out there are gardeners, but we got to get some gardening things ready to go here. Let's inhale, let's come back, bring your hands back to the blocks. Exhale, bring that right knee back to meet the left, sway the hips side to side. Woo! We are working it, we are working it. All right, well, you know where we're going. I'm going to turn around. No, this way you'll be able to see. All right, we got blocks to the outer edges, or towards the middle of your mat now, because we are going to come right up off of the blocks. So hands are on the blocks. Inhale. Bring that left foot back. Straighten the left leg. Exhale, bring that left leg in between the two blocks. Looking up straight ahead. Shoulders are up, down, and back. We're pushing into that block. Now we're going to start scooching that right leg back, dropping the right leg, the right hip down. Moving the blocks back by your hips. Pushing into the blocks keeps that chest up, bone development in your arms. Now by scooching that right knee back, drop the right hip down. One of them are going to feel tighter. Great stretch. You want to add on to this, you can bring your right arm up overhead or just leave it down. Feeling if it's too intense. Don't when you're going out of here in pain. Inhale. Exhale, bring that right hand down to the block as you start pushing right hip back towards right heel. Letting your left leg come straight. Toes point to the ceiling. Flex and move your blocks back by your hips now. Half monkey. Chest stays up, head stays up. Feeling that hamstring. We've done a lot already to open up hip flexors and to open up hamstrings. Because if we're going to go out and walk and work in garden and stoop and do all the things we love to do, we've got to have open hips, open hip flexors. Inhale, let's come back up. Bring those blocks back. Scooch that right knee back up under the right hip. Left knee over left ankle. Now we're going to do that twist again. So you can either put the blocks up on top of each other and twist, or you can bring both hands to your thighs and bring the right hand above the left knee. Left hand can come behind your low back, twist. And one side, the balance is going to be better than it is on the other side. Looking back towards your left shoulder. Left arm can come back out behind you, palm facing out. If that's in your practice, go where your body is. What I've learned in mature age is not to worry about what everyone else is doing, what my body wants to do. Or may not want to do it. It may not want to do it. Inhale, let's come back to the blocks. Hands to the blocks. Exhale, left hand comes to me, left knee to right knee. Sway the hips from side to side. Great job, you guys. Great job. Those are some poses that really work on opening up fascia. And we are going to come up into a standing position. Easiest way for you to come up to standing. So we're going to come into standing. Now we've been in class now for 32 minutes and we are just now standing up. Feels good. Feels good to stand up. I want to do a couple of poses in the standing before we move to balance. Grab your blocks again. Put them at the top of your mat. You may still have them. I moved mine off. We're going to come into Warrior 2. We're going to do a real quick Warrior 1, a Warrior 2, and then I want to do Extended Triangle. That opens up the fascia on your entire body. So, we're going to be facing the front of our mat, feet hip widths apart. Bear down weight in the mat. Pull in transverse abdominis up and up from the bottom. Inhale, arms up into mountain pose arms. As you bring right foot forward, left foot back to Warrior 1. So my left toes are pointing about 11 o'clock. Right knee is over right ankle. Feel that stretch from your hip on the left side all the way down to your heel. Warrior 1. And I'm going to turn the other way. Now we're going to inhale here. Exhale, spin that back foot, come into your Warrior 2. Left knee is still over left ankle, look down. Right knee is still over right ankle, look down. Make sure it's still over that ankle. If not, readjust that right leg closer to the edge of the mat to where they line up together. It just means your hips are a little off, which that happens in life. Arms out to a letter T, gazing over your right middle finger. Warrior 2. Strong pose. What are we working again? Hip flexors. Adductors, the little muscles that hide up there. Fascia. Fascia all the way through your body. Now we're going to inhale, straighten that right leg. Straighten the leg. Both legs are straight. Exhale, shoot the top part of your chest, body forward as you bring that right hand down to the block. Bring your left arm up to the ceiling. triangle pose. Now, if you're using a chair, you can do this by bringing your palm down to the chair in front of you if you're using a chair versus block. Complete muscle stretching, every muscle in your body, as well as stretching all that fascia. Inhale, bend the right knee, come back up into warrior two, and step your back foot up to meet your front foot. Woo! That's an intense vinyasa flow. Vinyasa is putting more than one pose together at a time. I want to explain to you when we were in that pose, and when I tell you to bring your arm up, we'll try it on this next one. I always, if you've ever noticed, I rotate that arm before I bring it up. Why? The shoulder can get caught in the shoulder girdle behind. If you rotate that arm, it releases it. You may hear even a little pop. We're going to try it on the other side, and I want you to try it when I tell you to rotate your arm. See if you notice a difference, how high your arm will go compared to if it's caught in that shoulder girdle. Hopefully that makes sense, but we're going to try it on the other side. So, here we go, and we're ready. We're going to inhale up into mountain pose arms as we come into left foot forward, right leg back. Feel the stretch in those hip flexors. You go as far as your body wants to go today. Toes are probably, for me, they're pointing about 1 o'clock. Inhale. Exhale, come into your warrior two. Spin the back foot parallel back of the mat. Arms out to a letter T, left knee over left ankle. Look down to make sure that's where it is. Inhale, as you straighten the left leg. Exhale, shoot the top part of your body forward. Bring your hands down, left hand to the block. Just raise your right arm straight up. Now I want you to feel that feel. Now rotate that arm one complete time. Bring it back up. You may have heard a pop there, you may not have. Do you feel more open in that shoulder? It gets stuck a lot of times in the shoulder girdle. Rotating your arm, I always do that because mine gets stuck all the time. Another little trick to learn. All right, let's inhale here. Exhale, bend the left knee as we come back up to warrior two. Exhale, back foot meets his front. Woo-wee! Good job, you guys. Great job. That is such a fantastic pose. When you're doing when your arm is up in the air like that, you rotate it and it will release that. It just is how we're made. That's all I can say, just how it's made. Great job, you guys. All right, we are going to come into some balance poses. That, what we just did, is a great balance pose also. It may not feel like it is, but when you're stretching every single part of your body like that, it becomes balanced and tremendous bone development as well. So, if you need to use a chair for balance, a table, a wall, whatever you have handy, we're going to come into the traditional tree pose. We're going to bear down weight in that left leg and foot. Push it into the mat. Transverse abdominis pulled in. Pull up from the bottom. Shoulders up, down, and back. And come into your tree pose on the right side. And if you use it as a kickstand, a shin, or up at your thigh, and it depends on where your balance is today, and anything can affect your balance. You think, oh, it's pretty outside. My balance ought to be right spot on. Sometimes it's what's going on in your head as well. Shoulders up, down, and back. If your ankles are wobbling like mine are today, better bone development. Kicked it up a notch. Hands can either be holding on to a table, a wall, a chair. One hand in prayer position. Find a spot to stare at. That's your drishti gaze. Push the hands together. Helps with balance. Fantastic. All the weight is in that left leg. Inhale. Exhale. Gently, gently, gently. Step out of your pose. Ooh. We have worked it today. We are working it today. All right, you know the drill. I don't have to tell you where we're going. Same alignment points on right leg. Everything's pulled in tight. Come up into your tree pose when you are ready. Tree pose on the left. Now sometimes carpet can inhibit tree, sometimes carpet will help it. If you go back and forth between carpet and floor, it can be very tricky, and that's what I do. I teach in the studio on a wood floor, and I teach here on carpet, so my body's going, what are you doing? Find your spot to stare at. Beautiful poses, you guys. Inhale here. Exhale gently, gently, gently. Step out of your pose. Woo, great job. Since we are putting so much focus on inner thighs, on hip flexors, on all that fascia, we're going to do another one to match it. So we are going to do single leg lift where we open our leg out. Push down into left leg. Use whatever you need to hold on to. Inhale, bring right knee up, hip height, just hip height, flex the right toes. Right hand on the inside of your right, above your right knee. Open up the right leg out. Huge balance check here. Now, if it's in your practice, you can bring your left arm out straight out into the other side. If you're holding on to something, stay where you are. Single leg lift, working on that hip flexor. Inhale, let's come back to center. Exhale, drop that left leg down, right leg down. Woo-wee! Because we still have half moon. You know we have to do a half moon. All right, walk that off. Inhale, lift your left leg up, hip height. Flex left toes. Exhale, open that left leg out. Stay here, holding on to something, or you can bring that right arm out to the side, wherever your practice is today. Keep that left leg, toes flexed. Tremendous opening pose and bone development. Inhale back to center. Gently step it down. Wow. We have been putting it together today. Wow. I want to do one more before we come to the floor. You know what? I'm not going to do half moon today. We did triangles, so we're not doing half moon today. Let's come directly down onto the floor. Belly down. We're going to come into our Sphinx pose. Elbows under shoulders, arms straight out like the Egyptian Sphinx. Spread the fingers wide. Now, if you need to put a blanket under your groin area because of surgeries or anything, do that. Otherwise, that's what's resting on the floor in your legs. Now we're going to pull our torso forward, top part of our body forward, stretching. Stretching, looking straight ahead for our cervical spine. Feeling that stretch from your belly button all the way up. Fascia, all that area is lined with fascia. Break that bad boy up. Let's get it stretched. Remember to breathe. We breathe. Yoga is movement with breath. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your arm parallel to the edge of your mat. Stack your left hand on top. Rest your forehead on your hand. We have worked for 42 minutes without a break. Taking a little bit of a break here. In your breathing, feel that belly push down into your yoga mat. Then you know you're using your diaphragm. Let's inhale. Let's come up, flip over onto your back, and grab a block on your way. Put it outside your mat. Knees in the air, feet flat on the floor. You know where we're going. We're coming into bridge pose. One of the best yoga poses around. Hands down by your sides. Inhale. Exhale, tilt your pelvis just a little as you push with your feet, pushing hips up into the air. High as you can get them. You'll notice your hips, your butt tightens a little bit. It's a tushy toner, back strengthener, total lymphatic cleansing when your hips are higher than your heart. Close your eyes if you like. Calm your breathing. Let's inhale together. Exhale together. Inhale. Exhale, slowly start lowering one vertebrae at a time. Ooh, windshield wiper those knees side to side. And we are going to come into a second set. Two options. Use the block for a more restorative. You want full where you get bone development, don't use the block. Either way, it's a fantastic pose. So don't feel like, oh, I don't really want to, but I guess I'll go the whole version. You don't have to. You still get all the benefits. So you decide, and when you're ready, come into your bridge pose. Remember to tuck that pelvis. Tremendous pose. You can almost feel that lymphatic cleansing happening when those hips are up as that fluid goes through the thoracic duct. Inhale. Exhale, lower down one vertebrae at a time. Windshield wiper the knees, side to side. Come back to center. Lift your hips. Put your block down on the lowest level. Drop your hips on that. Align your low back with it, your sacral area. Inhale, raise your right leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, raise your left leg up to the ceiling for waterfall. If you need to readjust your block, do that. Take your hands above your knees, massage that fluid back down to your hips. And then bring your hands down by your sides. Let's work a little more on opening hip flexors. Inhale, bring your legs to a letter V, wide as you can. Exhale, bring them together. Inhale, open, 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 open. Exhale, bring them together. One more time, open those legs. Exhale, bring them together. Now bring both feet to the floor, lift your hips up. We're going to come into a pose we have not done yet, but you may have done in other yoga classes, Happy Baby. Take your hands, grab the outside edges of your feet. Your fingertips will be in the arch of your foot. Bring those legs straight up with a bend. Bend the legs. Bend the legs. Knees are on the outside of your body. Chest, outside your chest. Hands on those feet. This is called Happy Baby. Sway a little bit side to side. It massages your spine as it opens up those hip flexors. Like babies can do this. Sometimes babies can get their toes in their mouth too. If you can do that, I want to hear about it. happy baby. Now this is a restorative pose, but we try to pull down with those hands on the feet, putting a little pressure on those knees. Notice the back of your hips. You should feel that intensify there. Now if you want to open that area, keep pushing down. Our arms are straight, pushing down on those feet with your fingertips, or you can relax that and just make it total restorative. Close your eyes. Sway like a baby. Happy baby. Now come back to center. Bring those soles of the feet together. Knees fall out to the side. Kind of get a mental picture of where those knees are. You can lift your head if you want. Look at your knees. Are they closer to the floor than maybe they were when you were seated? We sure worked a lot on hips. Now bring your arms into cactus arms. Elbow shoulder height. See if the forearms go back to the floor. We work that fascia in the front part of our chest. Close your eyes. Bring your knees together. Take your arms, wrap them around your shins, your hands. Pull those knees into your chest and sway. This should feel fantastic on your lower body, on your back, lower back. Wind removing pose. Any gastrointestinal issues, this is a great one for that, i.e. the name wind removing pose. Now gently bring your feet down to the floor, knees in the air. Lift your hips up and move them to the right, knees to the left, arms out to a letter T, gazing over your right middle fingers or right hand. You can close your eyes. Resetting your spine. Come back to center. Lift your hips up, bring them to the left, knees to the right. Now looking over at your left hand. When we talk about the fascia getting tight, I had dinner with a good friend of mine who was a yogi for many, many years. She hasn't done yoga for about four to 5 months. She was talking about how tight her shoulders were. So when I talked to her about the fascia, it dawned on her, it's the fascia that is so tight, and that's from not having done yoga. So if you wonder why I do this every week, why do I take these classes, why do I do this, for that very reason. You're working on it constantly. Made her decide she needed to get back into yoga again. Take your legs, bring them back to the front. Now you can either rest your legs directly on the mat, arms down by your sides for final rest. You can bring your legs up the chair. You can bring your legs up the wall. If you're laying flat on your mat and you want to put a blanket under your knees for cushion, you can do that. We don't have as long as I would like to get the maximum benefit out of legs up the wall, but it's totally up to you where you take your final rest. And close your eyes. The amount of work we did today, a lot of work we did today. A lot of great work on your body. Let's do a mental inventory of where your body is. Let's start at the top with your head, your brain, can we relax that brain? That works constantly. Even in our sleep, our brain is working. Can we relax it? Let all the troubles go. Only think of the good things. Think of the beauty that's out there, the sunshine. Scrunch your forehead up, scrunch it, scrunch your eyes up. Now relax them. May you only see the beauty inside the house, outside the house, inside yourself, outside yourself. Your nose. Sniff a couple of times. May you only smell the great things, the cooking things, outdoors, your ears. May you only hear the beauty, the birds chirping, and they are out. The voice of children, the voice of loved ones. Your mouth. Scrunch your mouth up. Tighten it to where you have pursed lips. And relax it. Drop your tongue from the top of your mouth. Release your jaws. May you only speak words of love, kind words, and eat the good food. Your lungs, your heart. Notice those lungs, notice that heart. May it show love today. May your breath be good, oxygenated air coming in. Your belly, tighten the belly, tighten it, tighten it. Release it. May you only put good food in that belly. Your arms, your hands, tighten your arms, tighten them, tighten. Bring your hands into fist. Release them. Let those arms and hands show love. As a hug to someone. Your hips. Release your hips. They carry you throughout your day. Your legs, your feet. Tighten those legs. Tighten them. Tight. Pull your feet back towards your shins. Relax them. May those legs take you to great places today, whether it's a walk around the neighborhood, no matter where it is. They should feel much more open. Now let's gently, very, very gently, we're going to work our way out of our pose. Coming onto your right side in a fetal position, pulling those knees into your chest. My intention for classes this week is beautiful. The weather's beautiful. Our bodies are beautiful. Make your mind beautiful also. Set your intention for the rest of class, or the rest of the day today, where you want to be today. And let's gently come up into a seated position, sitting cross-legged, like we started class an hour ago. Bring your hands to heart center. Close your eyes. I thank you for the tremendous opportunity to lead you in practice today. We did such great things for the fascia in your body and your body as a whole. I thank you all for being here. I hope you have a fantastic Wednesday. Get outside, do something nice today. Namaste. Thank you all. Glad you guys were here. Have a great day today.